Hello everyone, I am Amitesh at GetSetSQL, and in this tutorial you will learn how to use alter command. Alter command is one of the most versatile command in SQL Server, using which we can perform many things. So today we will learn each and everything about alter command, so stay tuned and let's start. So alter is a DDL command. It makes changes in the database object. So we will see what possible things we can perform using alter command is that we can update table and partitions. We can modify, drop and create indexes, constants and triggers. So these objects we can maintain using alter statement. Now we will go one by one, and first we will see what possible actions we can do on tables and partitions using alter statement. Add, remove, modifying of column can be performed using alter statement. Also we can reassign and rebuild table partition. So let's see in the example. So first start with columns. Here in the example you can see I have an employee table. I want to add one more column which is salary. So sal is a column that I want to add into this employee table. So command is very simple. Alter table, table name, which is employee here, and then add column name and then column data type. So command completed successfully. You can see a new column has been added which is sal, but the value is null. That is obvious because currently we have not fed any value into these columns, so this is null. That's fine. Let's say after creating a column I realize that the data type is not appropriate. For example, I don't want to insert integer value for this column but a varchar type, or size could be anything, let's say varchar 10. So that also I can do this. I can modify any column. So this time the statement will be alter table, table name, alter column, column name and then new data type. So this time altered. So in this case my command will be alter table employee, alter column sal and new data type varchar 10. So before running this command, let me show you what the current data type of sal column. Currently the data type of sal is integer. You can see here. Now I would change its data type to varchar. Execute. Now again if we see the definition of employee table, this time you can see it is updated with varchar. Let's say after creating, modifying, I realize I actually don't want this column, so or any column. So let's say now this time I want to remove any column. So that is again very simple. The command is alter table, table name and then drop column, column name. So in my case the column is sal, so my command will be alter table employee, drop column sal. Execute this, and if I check my table again, you can see no sal column is available because I have deleted this. So this we discussed about how can we create, modify and drop a column. Now let's see about the partitions. Partition switching moves entire partition between tables almost instantly. It is extremely fast because it is a metadata only operation that operates the location of the data. Okay, so no data is physically moved. So this action can be performed using the alter statement. We will not discuss the partition in much detail, but if you are really interested to know about it, please let me know in the comment. I will create a separate video for partitioning, how we can create a partition and how we can switch tables between partitions. But here we will focus on alter statement, how the alter statement can be used to partition switching. Okay, so let me show you one example that I have two tables, source table and target table. Fine. In source table I would have some row where the target table would be blank, and using the alter statement I will switch the data from source table to target table. You can see I have created both the tables on primary partition. 6 rows inserted, and now let's see how many rows we have in each table. So you can see in source table we have 6 rows, where target table we have 0 rows. Okay, This partition switching basically takes place in a huge table, but just to make the example simpler, I am making a very smaller data set. So in source table we have 6 rows, in target table we have no rows. So we can switch into a blank partition only. So that is why target table has no rows. So using alter statement, we will switch records from source table to target table. The command is very simple: alter table name, switch to target table. We'll run this command, and if I go back to the table records, you can see it has been reversed. Now we have no records in source table, but all data from source table has switched to target table. So this is the example of partition switching that we can perform using alter statement. Now let's move to the next example. Now you will see how we can use alter statement in indexes. So for indexes, we use alter statement for disabling and rebuilding. How we can do this? Let's see in the example. For indexing example, I will create this table first. So test table is created. Currently this table has no record, only 2 columns. And let's see the definition of this test table. You can see in detail that this table is created on certain day, and there are 2 columns, ID and name, of data type integer and varchar respectively. Currently no indexes are built on this table. Now first what we will do, we will insert some value into this table. 3 rows inserted. You can see the table has now this time 3 rows. And now I would create a unique index on the ID column. So command is very simple: create unique index, index name on table name and column name. So index is created. Now if I again go back to the definition of the table, you will see this time that index is created. There is a new object called index that has been created on my table. It is basically a unique non-cluster index. It means in ID column we are not allowed to insert repetitive value. If I go back to a table, so it means 3, 2, 1 values are not again allowed into this ID column, because this column has unique index. Now I can show you by inserting the same record again. It will give me a duplicate row issue. You can see in the error it says the duplicate rows are not allowed. Fine. So but using alter statement we can disable or rebuild the indexes. So let's say out of some circumstances I want to insert some duplicate values in ID column in test table, then I need to first disable the index. That I can perform using alter index statement. So command is very simple: alter index, index name on table disable. Fine. This command has been executed. Now I am allowed to insert duplicate values. Let me run this one. 3 rows affected, and you can see in the table the duplicate values have been inserted into the ID column. If I go back to the table definition by sp_help command, you can also see the index is still available here in the definition, but this is not in force because it has been disabled. I can again enable this by rebuilding command. The command is same: alter index, index name on table, but this time instead of disable I would write rebuild. If I run this time, this would probably be fail. This is but obvious, because what I am trying to enable, I am trying to enable a unique index onto the table in which we already have duplicate values. So the error says the same thing: the create unique index statement terminated because the duplicate values were found. Okay, you can see the duplicate key was found. So if I delete all rows from the table, I have deleted all rows from the test table, and this time I can rebuild unique index back in force. So we have seen that how we can disable and enable indexes using the alter statement. Now let's move to the next example. We can use alter statement for constants also. SQL Server has many constants like default constant, null constant, primary key, foreign key constants. So all that constants can be managed using the alter statement in SQL Server database. So let's see what actions we can perform. We can add and drop table constants. We can disable and enable also the constants. Let's see in the example. For demonstrating the alter statement on constant, I have an employee table here. That employee table we have discussed already. So we can add constants like primary key, check, unique keys, etc. I will demonstrate you unique key constant and primary key constant example. So alter command will remain same. Alter table, then table name, then a new keyword add constant will be added, then constant name, and then whatever the constant we want to apply and on what column. Before executing the command, let me show you the employee table definition. For this I have a command sp_help, then table name employee, and run this. Currently you can see we have no constant, just only an identity on ID employee ID column, otherwise we have no constants on the table. Now let's run this command to create a unique constant on employee ID and name. So unique constant would be a combination of employee ID and name. That means this combination cannot be repeated into the table. Run this command and constant is created. I'll go back to the employee table definition, and this time you can see a constant type unique has been created, which is non-clustered by default, and the constant name is my unique constant. This is the same name that I have provided here to this constant, and the combination is employee ID and name. In the same way, I can also create a new constant for primary key, where I want to create employee ID as a primary key of this table. Execute, command run successfully. Run this command to check the table definition, and you can see the primary key has also been created on employee ID column. We can also drop a constant using the alter table. Fine. So the command will be alter table table name, and as we were writing add constant for adding a constant, this time we would write drop constant. Very straightforward and simple command. Alter table table name, then drop constant constant name. Let's say I want to delete this primary key constant from this table. So execute this command. Command executed successfully. See the definition of the table. Now you will find only one constant, which is a unique constant, and primary key constant has been deleted. So this is the example of alter command with constants. Alter command can also be used to enable and disable the triggers. We know trigger is an event driven program, and on a table level we have 3 events: insert, update, delete. So if any of these action is performed, we can create a trigger to handle these events. Let's see in the example. So in this example we see how we can manage triggers using alter statement. So at first we have a test table that we have discussed already. This is a blank table with 2 columns, ID and name. I will insert some values into this. 3 rows inserted, and now test table has 3. Now I will create a backup table called test_back. Now in this trigger example, what I am going to demonstrate you that we have a test table and we have a test back table, and I have implemented a trigger on test table which will capture the delete event on test table. So what it will be doing, that whenever a row get deleted from test table, that deleted record will be captured in test back table as a backup. Okay, so this is a 2-liner simple trigger. So create trigger name on test table for delete, because we want to capture the delete event on this test table. And what we are trying to perform, that insert into test back table, we have only one column ID in this table, and insert ID from the deleted. So whatever the IDs will be deleted from test table will get captured into test back table. I will show you test table. It has 3 rows and test back table is blank. Now if I delete any row from the test table, delete from test where ID is equals to 1, execute this. So I have deleted a ID 1 from the test table. Now let's check the test table. So ID 1 has been deleted and it must be backed up in test back table. If I check test back table, you can see test back table has backed up this ID 1 using this trigger. because whenever we are performing delete statement on this test table, the trigger fires and store that deleted row into the test back table. Fine. But let's say I want to disable this automatic activity, disable this trigger, then I can simply do this using alter statement. So the command is alter table name, disable trigger, then trigger name. So I know the trigger name is test back trigger. I will name this trigger here and run this command. Fine. So trigger has been disabled. If now this time if anything I remove from test table will not be backed up in test back table, that I can show you here. And this time if I delete all the rows from test table, 2 rows has been deleted, you will see both the 2 rows will not be backed up in test back table this time because trigger has been disabled. We can also enable the trigger by simply replacing disable with enable. Alter table name, enable trigger name. So this is as simple. So in this session we have learned all possible actions that we can perform using alter statement, and we also seen that how a single alter statement can be used for table, index, constant and triggers. I will also provide you the link in my description for that SQL script files that I was practicing in this tutorial, so you can practice for your own. This is all about today's tutorial. I hope this video has added some value to your knowledge. If this is so, please like this video and subscribe my channel. I'll come soon with more learning and interesting videos on SQL Server and many other technologies. Till then, please take care of yourself. Stay blessed. Thank you.